right, turds. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well today. As always, I am sending good thoughts into the universe for you guys that this week is not overwhelming any of us too much. If it is, let's just keep rolling with it. All right. So I have been promising my debt confession, my debt update, and let's just get it done. It's the middle of May. These are going to be end of April numbers. And we'll just go from here. First thing I want to introduce you guys to is where Paul and I are at in our credit journey. Give you a little backstory. So together, Paul and I have a total of 17 credit cards. We do not have any debt in both of our names together, except for our consolidation loan, which you'll see down here. He has a total of 10 open credit lines, consumer credit lines, credit cards, basically. I have a total of 7. We've been together 10 years, and for the 10 years, I have worked a full-time job for 2 years of those. In between, I had a job for about a year and a half as a virtual assistant that I made quite a bit of money. But other than that, I have just had side gigs, virtual assisting things, a couple of customer service jobs. But overall, there was never really a point in our 10 years where we could afford for me to stay home full time. I did, which resulted in a ton of credit card debt. Now, some of that was needed stuff, but I would say about 80% of it was we were living way, way, way beyond our means. So I don't have exact numbers, but let's say the beginning of 2022, before I started working full time, I was doing the budget, and I realized that with all of our credit card minimums, we couldn't afford to eat. So at that point, all of our credit cards were almost completely maxed out. We had maybe 10, 11 credit cards at that point. So it was obvious I needed to work. So I would say our beginning credit card debt was maybe around $56,000 to $58,000. That is just credit cards and consumer debt. So I worked. We got it kind of under control. We could afford to eat. And at the beginning, so for all of 2023, we did not touch credit. You guys, and I'm talking, our biggest credit cards were charging us about $300 a month in interest. So all of 2023, we challenged ourselves to not touch the credit, to make sure that we could live without having to rely on credit. So that went well. So the beginning of 2024, I was still full-time employed, as we know, and we decided that we would do a consolidation loan. So at December 23, our credit card minimums were costing us, at that point, about $1,200 a month. Cold, hard cash. That was the minimums. Our interest every month that we were paying, just throwing out the window for literally nothing, wasn't touching our balances, was $640 That is so stupid. So stupid. That is two weeks of food, literally. So, after a whole year of not touching our credit, we decided we would do a consolidation loan. So we consolidated $36,000 of our credit card debt into a consolidation loan at 15% interest, which is half of what most of those credit cards were charging us. So we got all of our credit cards below 15% usage. And our interest now a month is $350. So we're saving $300 a month from that. So we felt that that was the best idea because not only was it going to skyrocket our credit scores, which were already good, they were already at 700, but it freed up a lot of money, and it was going to create an atmosphere for us in which the extra from all my paychecks that I was doing half to sinking and half to debt would really allow us to go ahead and pound this loan out. Well, as you know, I quit my job because it was so dang hard. Everything about it was hard. And you know where we are now. So today, I'm going to show you our end of April numbers on our debt. Our credit cards are going to look pretty dang good. But I want you guys to keep in mind that we have an enormous amount of available credit that we can use, credit limit. Our total combined credit card limits for both Paul and I is the total amount we could be in debt, the total amount we could use, the total amount of credit card openness limit that we have right now combined is $103,000. You guys, these are huge credit cards. 15,000, 10,000, 6,000. So I want you to keep this number in mind when I tell you the amount of debt we're in. Our goal for our debt, I don't want to be debt free. I want this limit to be here, and I want to use it responsibly and never be above 15% usage on any credit card. Ideally, I would never like to be above 5% usage on any credit card. I know there's a healthy way to use credit, and that's what we're shooting for. I think credit is so essential in our society today. It's going to open up avenues for me to help my children, not to the expense that it's going to put me in a liability. But we're going to be moving in 4 years. My husband's done with the military. We have goals to move to West Virginia and buy dreamland, and having our scores be 800 plus like they are right now is going to be what's going to make this affordable to hopefully by the time I die, I'm leaving paid off property to my children, which property is priceless. It's the only thing that lasts. So we all know that. Okay. So this is our limits, and let's go ahead and just get going. So, all right, let's slither that. These are in order of lowest balance to highest balance on our credit cards. We do not have a lot of credit card debt. We have a lot of other debt. So my husband's Amazon card had a $67 balance at the end of April. Excuse me, darling. Next is his Target card, which had a $141 balance. Next is my Quicksilver Capital One, which had a balance of 154. Next is his Capital One, which has a balance of $319. His American Express, which had a balance of $342. His GameStop, which has a balance of $326 at the end of April. My American Express was at $434. His Discover, which was at a balance of $559. My Target, which had a balance of $758. Oh, just to let you know, this debt tracker form is from Budgeted Mrs. P. She's incredible. One of my favorites ever. It's a freebie in her freebie drive. I will tag her. All right. Next is my Capital One Saver, which has a balance of $1,807. Next is my USAA, which has a balance of $2,226. Please keep in mind, these are huge cards. So to see these at these amounts is, you guys, it feels so incredible. This card was up to 10,000, like ridiculous. So we've come a long way. There's still a long way to go, but my husband's USAA has a balance of $2,978. This one, this is new line 2024. Totally irresponsible. So this year is our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I have a beautiful sapphire wedding ring, and I have always dreamed of having a 10-year band. You know, for every decade we're together, I want to add another band. So almost $5,000 later, my band is being made. They can't find the sapphires. It's been months. It's a complete mess. We got into this debt this year in February, knowing dang well while I was still working. And right after we got this, is when we started the discussion of me quitting. So this was a really big thing that I wanted. I had been talking about it for 5 years. I hope someday soon I get it back, and I can show you guys what we're spending all this money on. But irresponsible. A decade though, you know, I don't know. I'm torn between this debt. But that is sitting at $4,461. My Discover card is sitting at $6,091. This is another debt I literally just got a few weeks ago. So me and my husband love emo music. I'm an emo person. You guys will learn that. There's such thing as an Emo's Not Dead cruise. It was sold out, blah, blah, blah. It's our 10th year, cruise to the Bahamas. I added 4K on here. Right now, this Discover card does not have an interest rate, but that's probably going to change soon. This $8,000 in between these two was irresponsible, you guys. We had not used our credit in over a year. But this one, my ring, wasn't as irresponsible because we really thought, you know, there were no talks of me quitting then, and we really thought that this would be like so easy to pay off. You know what I mean? Like 5 months, no interest, done. This one we wholeheartedly took out. But I'm of the vein that, you know, you only live once. It's our 10 years. We've been through so much, 3 children, and you know, the lineup, I couldn't refuse it. So anyway, our total credit card debt as of the end of April is $20,000 24,663 out of 103,000. That's an incredible amount, yes. But I don't, how far we've come in the last couple years, I don't feel bad at it about it at all. Honestly, it doesn't keep me up at night. What keeps me up at night right now is wondering if we have to take from our savings that we've worked so hard for to feed us. So here is our other consumer debt. We have our debt consolidation loan, which right now is at a balance, well, at the end of April, is at a balance of $34,405. But like I said here, we're saving so much in interest, such a lower percentage rate, still not great. I'll probably refinance that sometime next year. And it is what it is. Our car is down to $17,537. This was a $48,000 loan. I think we're going on 5 years of paying it. I don't feel bad about it. The car's incredible. It's gonna last us. We're not buying a new one. It runs beautifully. We've maintained it perfectly. So the car is what it is. I can't get a better rate than what I have now. The market just won't allow it. So if there ever is a better interest rate world, we will refinance this and hopefully get the payments down from the $494 to maybe like $200. But that's whatever. And then we have my student loan, which is sitting at $15,334. So about a decade ago, I decided I wanted to be a nurse. I went through all the school, 4.0. I was literally on my last year, which was just the clinicals. And the first clinical that they had us do was in a nursing home. Man, yeah, I can't be a nurse. My empathetic nature, my fear of death, my fear of mortality. Yeah, that was a waste of money, and now the credits don't even count because it's been a decade. Did you guys know that after a decade, your credits just bleep, don't exist? But whatever. You live, you learn. I'm turning 40. So our total debt right now, at the end of April, is $87,939. We do not have a mortgage or anything like that. My goal is to not touch credit again this year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do have a ton of savings that I can spend if I have to before it gets to this point. But yeah, this is where we are. I know it's not as much as some people have. I know it's way more than some people have just because of the fact that our limits are so high. But I feel good, you guys. If I can pick up a gig, by August, beginning of August, I start bringing in, at least $1,000 a month. Anything over that, I can start sinking money again. I could start paying this debt off. These credit cards don't worry me. They're all under 15%, except for this one, Cruise. They're all under 15%. The interest we're paying is such a joke, $2, $3. Like, we all blow way more money than that. If in a perfect world, this loan would be being hit, because when this is paid off, it stays on your credit, looks good. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you think of my plan, where we're at. If you're worried for me, let me know what you guys think. I love watching your guys' debt confessions. I love watching you guys just count money. Like, let's be real. Um, I'm nervous about this, but at the same time, the growth in the last 2 years, you guys, like, please keep that in mind. Don't judge me too harshly. As of today, there is no debt pay off plan. Um, we are in survival mode, but of course I will keep you guys updated. I'll do another little quick video of me coloring in the April balances and filling out my little paper spreadsheets for the end of April. I haven't even done that yet. But as always, thank you guys so much. I love you. I love this community. Living a normal day shift and deciding to join this community, you guys, I feel, God, I don't even think there's a number to how good I feel, how hopeful I feel, how optimistic, and you guys are a huge part of that. So thank you. Keep being amazing, and I'll see you later. Peace.